Yo, 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 welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, across the world, across the galaxy. What's up, all my beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Purpose Pod. Yo, I'm your host, Mr. Never Stop, Never Quit, Repeat, Alan Levi Simmons, and that was DJ Davi with our 10-minute mix. Come on, man. DJ Davi, I appreciate you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. You always get me right. You always get me ready for the show. So make sure you all go follow DJ Davi on Instagram when you get a chance, when you get a hot second. Please go follow DJ Davi on Instagram. He always lights this show on fire, fire flame. There he goes, showing some love right there. Thank you, DJ Davi. So, Jeremiah, what up, everybody? Bernard, what it do? It looks like Brendan has his people in there. Rennie, what it do? All right, so, man, today is an awesome, special day, and I'm just honored to just be here today. But before we jump in, let me make sure you guys go like, and share this video right now, or like it, share it really quick. We would really appreciate you guys doing that because I know this is going to be a great interview with Brendan Brown. And so make sure you guys like this video, share it, whatever platform you're watching it on. Make sure you subscribe to the Purpose Pod on YouTube, okay? We really do appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with us tonight on the Purpose Pod. So, man, so today we're talking about activating your purpose early in life. The reason why I chose this theme, this topic right here, is because Brendan Brown has activated his purpose early in life. It's earlier than I did when I was a sophomore in high school. So I'm just so excited to have him on here. He's a great supporter of the Purpose Pod. So I hope that you guys are ready. Michelle, what's going on? Brandon, you got the whole squad, the whole family's out here today. So let me do this real quick. So Brendan Brown is a South Carolina native, born and raised in North Charleston, Chucktown, where he attends Fort Dorchester High School and is currently in his sophomore year as a virtual student. He enjoys playing video games, playing and watching basketball, and spending time with family and friends. His motto is self-improvement 101, and his signature quote is, if you're determined to do it, you'll be disciplined to do it. Come on, Brendan. His current goals are to rebrand his podcast in January on YouTube and to continue to motivate people through Christ. His profession is podcasting, in which the inspiration came in November of 2019 when he spoke with a classmate, and his podcast became a reality in March of 2020. He's going for 2 years this coming March of 2022 by the grace of God. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope that you all are ready to meet my brother, Brendan Brown. Brendan, come on screen, brother. Come on screen. Let's go. What's going on, Brendan?
Doing good.
That's awesome, man. Doing good. That's all you got for me? I came with all this energy. You got to give me something,
right.
bro.
All right. Well, I'm Brendan Brown, a podcast host, as he said, born, raised North Charleston, South Carolina. You know, some people may think that this is a random state, but you have potential wherever you go at. And yeah.
Come on.
It's glad to be on the show.
Man.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Hey, look, man. So Charleston, North Charleston. You know, I'm from Somerville, so I went to Somerville High School. You know, Fort Dorchester and Somerville back in my day, we was always rivals. You know, I had a lot of friends that went to Fort Dorchester too. So it's cool that you go to Fort Dorchester, not Somerville. You know, so I had to cut you some slack tonight. But man, you got a lot of people showing up tonight, showing you some love. So I just really wanted to give guys and girls a shout out once again for tuning in to the Purpose Pod. So Brendan, how are you doing? Like you mentioned, 2019, 2020, those years right there is when life started changing. And you mentioned that you're a virtual high school student right now. So how has life been for you throughout this pandemic?
Well, it's been all right. It's been good. You know, you had your ups and downs, but I just thank God I found this podcast, you know, and during the pandemic to allow me to do something, you know, besides not playing games and doing all the other, you know, average things, because, you know, I've been playing games a lot from, I believe, 2017, maybe 15-ish, all the way to like 2019-ish. And, you know, I was just your average kid, never had a passion, never had a purpose, just played games all day.
Yeah.
And I realized eventually in 2019, when I met Jeremiah that you see in the comments, he talked about podcasting, which you already mentioned that earlier, and
Yeah.
that's what inspired me, to
Mm.
start one because he told me about what it was, and
Yeah.
just nervous because I was nervous at the time in November 2019, but
Uh-huh.
when the pandemic came in, doors shut, so I said, "Hey, time to make an episode." Started the
Yeah.
first episode, and everything is history, leading up to
Yeah.
now.
That's what I'm talking about. So Jeremiah, shout out to Jeremiah. Sometimes God puts, not sometimes, but God puts people in our life, and they're at our schools, they're at our jobs, the church, grocery store, wherever you go, and they plant a seed inside of you. And I'm so thankful that Jeremiah planted that seed inside of you because you have a natural gift, an innate gift to inspire people. And I love what you have. I love what you do. So so we go dive in, man. But I'm definitely glad that you chose to follow your purpose and to do that. So I want to ask you this since we're on this topic right here. So
Mhm.
what kind of courage does it take to pursue your purpose as a sophomore in high school? What kind of courage does it take at that time?
Um, it's not that hard because with me being virtual, it's not really difficult. It's more,
Mm-hmm.
easier to do because when you're in person, it may be more difficult because you have to go talk to your friends, your buddies. Then you
Mm-hmm.
have to, you know, get your schoolwork done. Then you have to do all that. But for me, I'm virtual, so
Right.
all I have to do is just do my schoolwork and do my passion work and get that done.
Yeah. So I think that's cool because when I was in high school, we weren't virtual, and
Mhm.
Brendan, honestly, I wasn't even thinking about being an entrepreneur. I mean, previously, when you're in middle school, when you first get to high school, you're cutting grass for people during their summer, so you're making money, but no one really spoke about being an entrepreneur. No one gave me that key. So where did you find this key of being an entrepreneur? I hear you talk about it a lot. So where did you find that key? That information.
Well, it all started in 2015 when I was, a little boy. I always said entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship, and
Mm-hmm.
because I always wanted to be head of a corporate building. But I never
Okay.
realized that, once I started this podcast, I realized that it may not be that. God
Mm-hmm.
may change it to where I be an entrepreneur of something that's maybe digital, And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it could be podcast, it can be outside of podcasting, but still digital. Because,
Yeah.
I've noticed throughout the pandemic last year, I've seen a lot of people that have been e-commerce, with Shopify, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
and those other digital things. And to answer your question about how I got inspired by that,
Yeah.
just by watching Jose Zinka. He's a YouTuber. He's an entrepreneur. He has a bunch of brands. These
Mm-hmm.
glasses I'm wearing, he actually makes them, and I like what he does because he's a great example of entrepreneur. You
Yeah.
as well, and many more
Thank
people I can't name by name currently right now.
you. Yeah. So this digital life that you speak about, I had wrote something down here. On the topic of working a 9 to 5 to make money, you discussed the option to work digitally for teenagers and being fulfilled working online. What ways are you choosing to work digitally to make money? Are you making money working online? Are you like have you found something that you could do outside of just podcasting, or is it just podcasting right now?
Oh no, I found some things, outside of podcasting, also just side hustles, not full things, just side
Right.
hustles. Like, wearing these, I get commission from this,
Okay.
wearing the hoodie that I wore that you probably didn't
Mm-hmm.
see yet.
I saw
I
it. Yeah.
I wore that, yeah, I make commission from that as well. And
Mm.
there's a lot of things, I can't really think of it right now,
Yeah.
'cause I'm just excited to be, talking to you and everything. But
Yeah, it's all good.
there's a lot of stuff you can do besides that. You also have social media.
Mhm.
You have stock markets. You have
Right.
cryptocurrencies.
Come on.
Um, a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff you can make money off of beside podcasting, and
Right.
even acting. You can do acting through digital. There's so
Mhm.
many people who are actors who audition through YouTube.
Right.
And like I said, it's not that some people may think that podcasting is the only. It's not the only thing.
Mhm.
Podcasting, YouTubing are usually, I think, in my opinion, are gateways for you to get to your success.
Come on,
Like
Brittany.
YouTube is a gateway for you to get to success,
Yeah.
because actors, they become actors, some of them through YouTube. Like you saw a lady recently with West Side Story. She
Mm-hmm.
became an actor through auditioning in her bathroom on YouTube.
Yeah.
Also, there's chefs out here who do great, dancers,
Come on.
more,
Yeah.
more, more.
You man, you out here dropping gems already. I hope y'all writing stuff down now, because we don't, even if you're not a teenager, you're an adult. Like this is the avenue that a lot of people are taking right now, Brendan, like the digital avenue. Stepping outside of work. I'm talking about like people aren't even trying to go back to work because they're like, there's so much money on the internet.
Yeah.
Um, like there's
Some are
people that
tax
you would
free.
never meet that could be your customers,
Yeah.
instead of just being in North Charleston or Somerville, right? So I
Hmm.
think it's a great season for you as a young man to grow up in this day and age. It's an awesome, lucrative time for you. So I'm so excited to see you operate in the digital platforms, because you
Yes, sir.
will kill the game. So yeah, but I had to jump on that. And so talking about 9 to 5, and that's
Mhm.
the thing that we all were taught, even back in my days, like it was like 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And things are changing now. So where do you see yourself being, like when you're, I know that you can't really call the shot, right? You can't really say, oh, like this is what's going to happen, because you got to walk by faith and not by
Mhm.
sight. But for your goals, like what are some of your goals after high school? Is it college? Is it the regular typical life?
Mm. Well, it depends on, oh, excuse me. Wait, I'm about to sneeze. Well, it
You
depends
good?
on, how it goes, because I can go to college right now if I'm doing where I'm at now. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not saying I'm making money right now, that's like good money. But
Yeah.
if I make money to where I'm making a living,
Mm-hmm.
like right in my senior year, say for example in my senior year, and I'm making like great money to where I can last on it and buy
Yeah.
a house, there's no need for coach. There's no need
Okay.
for other things, because you already have yourself set up. Because I always tell people this, education is important. I believe you need to graduate high school if you don't want to go to college. But at the end of the day, is education going to pay you, or
Mm.
is the money going to pay you? The money. And the money doesn't bring you happiness. I understand that.
Yeah.
But
Come on.
think logically here. Is a piece of paper going to help you when you're homeless?
Come on.
No. So think about that. There's so many ways to think about this, and it's something how all of us, together as humans, we all see the same thing, but look at it
Mm-hmm.
differently. Like how my former pastor said one time in a Bible study, it's something
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's just shocking. And
Yeah.
like I said, if you want to go to college, do it,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. But I'm not anti-college. I just say that if you want to do what I'm doing, and not just what I'm doing, but something that is outside the education traditional route,
Right.
we'll do it, But like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not anti-college, but
Right.
if you want to go to college, go there. If you don't
Yeah.
want to go, don't go. It's your right. You're a human being.
Come on.
You know, we've been raised in this traditional society thinking that,
Uh-huh.
working a 9 to 5, having a college degree, the traditional life is important. It's not important. And I may come out here, I may sound crazy saying this, but grades are important, but at the end of the day, grades are just to get your mind cuckoo. And I had to realize that last year in virtual class,
Yeah.
algebra, it was just terrible. And,
Yeah.
I did
I
my
bet.
best. I practiced. I did what I did by the grace of God. I passed. I went to the class, but, that's all
Yeah.
grades are there for. They're there to pressure you. But at the end of the day, once you leave out those high school doors and graduate, it's all gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah, it's
Don't
all
matter what you made. If you got that degree, cool. I mean, it's the
gone.
same with college, Brendan. Like you're
Hmm.
talking straight facts. You don't even need to apologize about what you're saying, because these are facts. Like college isn't for everybody. My cousin Najee, he talks about, leaving your job, right? Leaving your 9 to 5.
Hmm.
But for you to say all of this, I'm just so, and I'm not going to say I'm so impressed, because like I am so glad that you have this information, because your life is going to change in a different trajectory than mine did. Like I'm 33 right now, and you're talking my language, right? How old are you right now?
For 16.
You're 16 right now, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
I'm 33, right? So
Yes, sir.
that's amazing. That's amazing that you're doing we're in the same boxing ring, Brandon. Like it doesn't, I started in 2020, you started, like we started at the same time. Like I want to just tell you this right now. Just really like you're doing the right thing. Like he's about to rebrand. He's rebranding his podcast, and he's thinking, he's forward thinking, and I love that you're doing that. So what inspires you to keep going?
Well, the first thing I can say is Jesus Christ.
Okay.
The second thing after that, is just thank God I was the person who I am. I have the mindset. Thank God I have the family members that are there to support me and help me. Thank God I got the friends like Jeremiah and other online friends that I talk to that help motivate me and are actually,
Yeah.
positive. And just thank God for networking because, I went to go to a lot of networking events and, I can even consider this too Bible study as well because I went to youth Bible study. I don't want to call her name out because I don't know if she wants me to call her name out. But Miss Alston, I'll call her by her last name. Miss Alston, she's a great teacher, and that was a great networking event to network with other youth, and just all that to answer your question, the things I just said,
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing and what you provide, and is even evident in your podcasting and your Instagram, when you're talking, when you're motivating, when you're inspiring, you always reference Jesus Christ. You always reference your faith, and I think that's very awesome. And you're also the type of guy that's like, hey, look, this is what I believe and this is what I do, but whatever it is for you, whether it's you yourself or whatever it is, like I love that you allow you're inclusive when it comes to walking in purpose. So on the topic of faith, see, I already had this written down. On the topic of faith, Brent, I knew what you was going to say, bro. So I want to go in further for the people who are out there and maybe they don't have access to the same faith that you have. Could you provide them with some insight in why your faith is important and what role, your faith plays in your pursuit of purpose?
Well, what role does your faith play in your pursuit of purpose? Well, the role that faith plays is it's the staple. It's a staple in your life. So, just like how you always grew up with, for example, this would be funny how you grew up with Batman or Superman or those people, those are staples of your childhood. That's how God should be in your life, teenage wise, adult wise. However, he should be your Superman in your life. He should be there to help you. He should be there, to motivate you and bring you happiness because that's what he is. Have the fruits of the I forgot how you say it, the fruits of the spirit, something like that. But joy, this
peace.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Those are your staples. You gotta have that godly fruit. So your spirit man can grow and you can pursue your purpose, for God, for the kingdom, not just for you. Because I tell people, it's not me, it's what God wanted me to do. Ever since I met Jeremiah, God ordained me to meet him so that I can be so that he can ordain me to do what I'm doing now with the podcasting and even right now to this interview talking to you.
Come on, because so come on, let's talk about it, Brendan. Wait, don't make me throw this chair across the room, boy. No, so let's talk about it, Brendan. I love what you're saying because a lot of people, they're at point A where you were when Jeremiah came up to you and he brought this information because he was purposed to be in your life. He was sent by God to be in your life, right? And he had a key for you, right? And that key opened other doors, which brought you on the Purpose Pod. And you've won. Number one, I said I have to, even before I saw your content, I saw that you were always present. You were always present on the podcast. You were asking questions. You were there. You may have dropped in, dropped out, whatever you were doing. I don't know, but I knew that you were there. I saw Brendan Brown on my feed in the comments, and I was like, I have to bring him on my show just off of that, right? And then I was like, I saw your content, and I saw that you were consistent. That's the word I was looking for. You were consistent, and you are a consistent brother, man. So it's so impressive, and I'm just so impressed because in this day and age, when you talk about Black young men, Black teenagers, 16-year-old teenagers, you don't hear a lot of positive things. You just see on the news people getting shot, people joining gangs, people dropping out of school, and people going to the streets or whatever it is, right? So so outside of, is it just faith that keeps you grounded, or is it the family? Is it the network? So how do you stay grounded as a young Black man in today's society? How do you stay grounded and continue to push forward in your purpose?
Well, by just, like I said, having, God in there, and like how you said, to answer your question, outside of that, just be around the right people, and speaking of Black men, I'm tired of the part where people like to say, "Oh, if you're a black person, a black boy who does good, you're white, or you're an
Mm-hmm.
outcast." And I want to tell anybody who's a young black man listening to this, and you're just like maybe me or Jeremiah or anybody who are trying to do something productive in their life. Keep doing it. Don't worry about what they say, because at the end of the day, I don't want to speak harm on them, but you know they might go to jail, and you might do better than them.
Come on.
But don't worry about them calling you white boy or this and that, because I grew up with that. I grew up with that. I really didn't start seeing diversity till I got to middle school, because I had a lot of white friends to talk to, and
Mm-hmm.
growing up I started seeing a lot of black friends, and started meeting some, and some black people liked me, some black teens didn't like me, because
Yeah.
I guess because the way I act, it was white to them. I
Right.
didn't
Come on.
sag, I didn't do none of this, and
Mm.
I'm grateful that I didn't fall for the trick of the enemy, because the enemy could have got me easily
Come
and
on.
become an average and just go to jail, maybe smoke weed, do dumb things. But by the
Mm-hmm.
grace of God, I didn't do none of those stuff. I never got influenced by nothing. And
Yeah.
I've been clean my whole life, never
Come on.
touched anything. And I
Come on,
thank
bro.
God for that.
I've been
And,
clean my whole
fun
life.
fact to tell you, my mother, she's actually clean as well. She never did anything. She never, touched drugs. She never smoked. She never did anything. And maybe the genetics passed down to me, and hopefully it passed down to my kids, and
Come
my
on.
great grandkids, and further down the line.
Yeah.
But overall, to say that part, be you, don't sag your pants, don't be stupid, be
Yeah.
smart.
I love
The
what you're
two S's.
saying.
Don't be stupid, but be smart.
Don't be stupid, but be smart. I
uh,
love what you're saying, man. Growing up in South Carolina, in Somerville, where I was at, I was, similar to you, but besides all the being clean, I was a bad boy a little bit. I was trying different things when I was young because I grew up around
yeah.
different stuff, right? So,
Mhm.
but I was always different. Like when everybody was singing the rap lyrics, and nothing wrong with rap, but I
Mhm.
wasn't hip to that. I was just like, I was on some NSYNC, and I was on some like, Jagged Edge, and like this really different stuff that wasn't really street, right? My
Mhm.
dress, the way I dressed, people were like, "Oh, you dress like a white boy," and I was,
Mhm.
"Oh, you sing like a white boy." I stopped singing because people was like, "Oh, you sing like a white boy, you act like a white boy," and it's like, where do we that toxic I say toxic not because
Mhm.
white boys are toxic, but because the mindset of black people to identify or classify another black person because of
Mhm.
their personality and characteristics that
Yeah.
they're white, and that's a popular conversation now. So I'm just
Mhm.
glad that you did not succumb to it, and like you say, you
Mhm.
didn't allow the enemy to grab hold of you and,
Mhm.
and to bring you into that
Yeah.
life. So kudos to that, man. And if you
Mhm.
whatever life brings to you, hold on to what you just said. Like if the temptation comes, because as a believer, as a Christian, you know that there are principalities and rulers of dark places who will come against you as you get stronger, right? So as you grow stronger, there's stronger spirits that you wrestle with, right? And I want you to hold on to your youth, that mindset, because that's what I've done, bro. Like you see
Mhm.
me dancing,
Yeah.
you see me joking around, like I'm holding on to my youth because that keeps me pure. It keeps me
Mhm.
the way that I am. So just
Mhm.
drop that right there.
Yeah,
So
and one more thing,
yeah.
just to talk about, since we're talking about the black people thing and arguments,
Uh-huh.
also, in the black community, we have to stop, with this. I'm just gonna say it. We can't be fussing with one another, we gotta get along with one another. And I always hear this in my household a lot, even in my other households,
Mm-hmm.
you see the other races. I always see this in my school a lot too, and you should notice. The
Yeah.
Hispanics, they all come together. The white people,
Mm-hmm.
they all come together. The Chinese people, they all come together. We need to come together and work together. We can't be jealous of one another. We can't
Yeah.
be arguing with one another. We got to figure out who's wrong, who's right, and solve the problem
Come
instead of
on, bro.
trying to be, oh, you this or you this. Just solve the problem and see
Come
where's
on.
the right and wrong in it. That's all. That's what
Come
I
on.
try to be, man. I don't say I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too. But,
Yeah.
I always try to tell people that even when I get into arguments with friends or family, I always be like,
Mm-hmm.
let's solve this problem instead of try to argue. And like I
Yeah.
said, it's not all the time I'm going to be like that. Sometimes I make it, upset, because we all get upset. But
It's
that's
true.
what I try to be, try to be that peacemaker, try to be
Yeah.
that peace in the family or friend group you're in,
Right.
try to, just have the right mindset and, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, to give to them.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's a
But
beautiful
that's just
thing,
one
man.
thing we gotta do as a community, man.
That's
You know.
right. I'm about to vote for y'all. Y'all better vote. Remember this name, Brendan Brown for city council, Brendan Brown for governor. Brendan, hey, look, y'all better vote for this man when he get out there. Hey, look, your heart is so pure, and it just reminds me of why I do what I do, because I believe that there are people out there who genuinely want to see African American people do better, to be better and be solution based instead of, oh, let's blow this up and let's do this and let's do that, right? Let's cause a riot. Like, no, let's talk about this. Let's see how we can figure out what we disagree about. And let's see, like, maybe you're wrong and I'm right, and maybe my right is wrong, and we got to figure that out. So I just love what you're saying right there. So beautiful, beautiful words right there. Y'all make sure y'all follow Brendan Brown. I'm gonna put that up there because this brother is going to lead the next generation and our generation, because you lead the next generation and you got to pull those people that didn't change, like the people in my generation. There's people who did not answer the call that God had on their life, and now they're holding a lot of people back. So how do you feel about where you are right now, like answering the call on your life? Do you feel like you're where you need to be?
No, not yet. I feel grateful, but I don't feel like I'm where I need to be at yet, because I feel that, there's like how you said one time, I think you said this on one of your episodes, there's never an end point. We just keep moving into the next level. Like we move to level 1 to level 2 to level 3. Like there's no ending level. Even if we go to level 1 million, we're still going to go to 1 million and 2, 1 million and 3, 1 million and 4. So, I feel grateful where I'm at. And every time I feel grateful where I'm at. And to be honest with you, man, I really feel that, that next year will be the year where everything will fall in place. Because what I wanted the podcast to be last year and this year, it will finally be what I dreamed of it and imagined it and envisioned it to be next year, with the video podcast and everything. Instead of just having, audio or just this type of content, I try to make my content high quality. And now I believe next year there will be high quality content, especially 4K, like snippets, video ones. And I'll make sure everything will be high quality. Like I said, overall, to answer your question, once again, I'm grateful where I'm at, and I feel like I haven't reached it, and I don't think you'll never reach it, because you just go through next phases of your life. It's like how you get older, you in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, like that. It's going to keep going until you die. Once you die, then you're at your end, because hey, the legacy comes in, because people forget about that. The legacy. So that's where you're at your end point. That's where you're at your highest. That's where you're at the place where you can say, now I'm there, because you're dead. Your legacy's flowing, like Kobe, Chadwick, those type of guys. Chadwick, especially from South Carolina, representing us. Look at us. We look at him as a successful black actor, because there's plenty of them out there, but he's the best because he represents our state. He's in our hearts, besides anyone else's ones. We were raised in South Carolina. He was raised there.
Right. Come on, man. Well, you get me fired up, Brendan. You get me fired up, boy. I'm telling you, I like this. I like this kind of energy, man. I like this kind of energy and this mindset. Legacy. Yeah, Bernard. Legacy is it's so real, man. I heard let me see. Who is it? It was Miles Monroe. I don't know if you've ever watched Miles Monroe stuff. He's passed away. But Miles Monroe said something powerful. He said that if your ministry or whatever you've built, if it dies when you die, you haven't done your job, because that legacy lives on. Legacy doesn't die, right? I think about my grandmother, who's passed away in the early 2000s, right? My grandmother, I love her so much that even though I was a little boy, her faith fired me up in my older years. When I got older, it gave me strength and it gave me power. So that means that even though it wasn't like, oh, she didn't start a business, she didn't do XYZ, she was a loving grandmother. She protected us. She showed us how to pray. She showed us how to sing. She showed us how to fish. She showed us how to skin fish, skin birds. Like she passed down something, so it lives on. So that's a powerful thing. So legacy, people, legacy. Y'all, I hope y'all are learning tonight, because he's teaching. So yeah. All right, so on to the next, man. So on the topic of confidence, Brendan, because I look at you, I watch your videos, I see how you enter into the video. What's up, everyone? And you go right into it, and you do your 30 seconds, your minute, whatever it is that you do it with confidence. So when did you establish your confidence to speak to your peers and others who are inspired by your work? When did you get this
That's a long
confidence?
question, but to answer that, when do you establish your confidence to speak to your peers and others who are inspired by your work?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when did I establish my confidence? So
Yeah.
I think the confidence just established once you started being a creator. Once I started creating
Mm.
content, that's when the confidence came. At first when I did YouTube last year, I was nervous and
Yeah.
I kept going. I kept going. I felt that it was great. I felt that I got more confidence, and that was also a trial that God allowed me to go through so that I can make this video podcast because I realized that why should I do a separate self improvement YouTube channel where I'm standing up
Mm-hmm.
talking if I can
Yeah.
just make that a podcast channel for my audio podcast? Because that's too much
Mm-hmm.
to manage. Just manage one so it can be just
Yeah.
one big source.
Yeah.
So and when you think of mainstream, that's what I was using it as.
Mm-hmm.
Video podcasting is my mainstream for audiences. Like for example, how the Avengers are them. How their mainstream is. Their mainstream is through the movie theaters. People don't know
Right.
them from comics. People don't know them from the toys or anything. People will know them more from the movies if you're an adult. And that's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing with me or you or anyone with us
Right.
being motivational speakers. They'll know us more through YouTube than anything because YouTube is the highest mainstream, I think, thing that people look at for content.
Yeah.
After that, I think it's TikTok. Then after
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, maybe more social media. But to
Yeah.
answer your question once again, how did I establish my confidence? Like I said, when I first made content and really when I first took that first step and that like how
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Green says, a YouTuber I really like watching self improvement, he
Mm-hmm.
said take the leap of faith. And I took that leap of faith, through Christ and
Yeah.
this recorded right there. You can't
Yeah.
see it, but I recorded right there where the lights are.
Yeah. That's dope. And I'm glad. So I had to ask that because there's, when I ask these questions, I'm thinking about the people that are watching. I'm thinking about people who are starting where you started or where I started, right? And like you, I like people always think that Alan Simmons is this like confident guy. He was always this confident guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was the first time I did an open mic, I had to make myself do the open mic after my wife made me do it. Um, and then I was shaking while I was holding my phone, reading what I had written down in private. I read it to the public. I was shaking. I was afraid. And then I was like, okay, what's next? I want to speak on the stage. But being from Charleston or being from Somerville, being from the low country, you don't talk the same as everybody else around the world. Some words some words I was straight country with, right? Some
Yeah.
words I'd mix up, and I just say because it was just how I spoke back at home,
Mm-hmm.
and I was afraid that people wouldn't accept me. I was afraid that I couldn't write a book because I wasn't a great writer, but then I took, like you said, I took that step, so what advice do you have for people, so we have taken that step of faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what advice do you have for people who are stuck right now and they lack confidence in doing what they are purposed to do?
So, for that part, that's a great example. I'm really thankful that you said that because,
Mm-hmm.
the way you talk, that is so great, man, because that's so relatable for us as, African Americans, and
Mm-hmm.
also, Hispanics too, because they deal with that too with their language. And, if you're
Yeah.
looking at this from those two races or communities, you can do whatever you can do. Don't worry about the way you talk, fix it. Just take your time and fix it, but just do your stuff. Don't let that talking determine what you can't do. I always say this to a family member. I don't want to put her name out there, but I
Yeah.
always tell her, you can do things. Don't try to look at the situation now. Try to envision it and try to you know, put your faith in it. Because if you put your
Mm-hmm.
faith in it, everything will be all right. The same thing with your
Mm.
confidence. Put your faith in it. Just like with me doing the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
When some people were saying, you know, start the podcast. I started the podcast. Some
Mm-hmm.
people were saying, is this a hobby or is this a thing you can make full time income? I said
Yeah.
it's a thing you can make full time income in. And some people were saying, oh, this may be a hobby, but they finally realized that it's a full time thing I can make. And
Mm-hmm.
even with that, I still went through. Even if
Mm-hmm.
people don't support you, you still go through because I had people who never supported me, and that was through social media. And guess what? I didn't care.
Yeah.
Keep going. As long as it's not self criticism, don't worry about it. Unless it's constructive criticism, don't worry about it. And
Come on.
with criticism, you have to take that very lightly because some people may do it to be real with you. Some people may do it just to be mocking you or just trying to ruin you on YouTube and
Mm.
things. So. Be careful with it.
Y'all better go follow this man. He's speaking. He's speaking that. That's why I wanted him on here. I'm like, look, there's people. I say a sophomore in high school, and they're like, oh man, what do you got to tell me? You dropping bombs out here. I'm telling you, you're doing a great job, Brendan.
Thank you.
So, and that's real. A lot of times when we build our businesses, when we go about doing the purpose that God has put inside of us, there will be a lack of support. And you know what's amazing, Brendan, is that through our faith, right, through our belief in what we believe in, that God has purposed us to do this, we lean not on our own understanding, right? We got in that place where God has. It's literally like this, Brendan. Imagine like walking into a big building that God said, Brendan, this building is your building. Inside of that building, I'm going to pack it with 1 million people, and you're going to stand on the stage and you're going to speak life into all of these people. You're like, okay, God, I guess I'll do it. And you take that step, like you said, you take that step and you build up this confidence as you get to the door and you open that door and it's empty. It's empty inside. You're like, hold on a second. God just showed me that, like, I had this fire inside of me. I know it's real. I know that it's valuable, but it's empty. God wants to, that's the test to see whether you stay or whether you leave because of the empty building. So even what I have to realize, Brendan, is that when I walk into the building and I take my position and I start speaking, that is when God will send the people. So I could be speaking to an empty room. I could be speaking to 0 followers, 0 people follow me, man. But God will send the increase. He will send the increase. Yes. All right, so I just had to drop that there too. Simply on you got me over here preaching with you, brother. So
preach. Like you said in one of your episodes, I got 5 more minutes. All right. Yeah. But my bishop actually does that too. He likes to always say, I got 5 more minutes. I got 5 more minutes, Brendan. Brendan, you got your watch. And every time you do it, they remind me of my pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man. So I'm fired up by just. So could you go ahead and tell those people who are not your family members, people who don't follow you, like why should they follow you?
Well, because this is rare, because once I'm 30, once I'm 40, once I'm 20, once I'm 30 or 40, it will just be the average thing. Oh, he always going to be a motivational speaker. But when you're young like this, it's very rare. It's very rare to see people my age do what I'm doing. And, I thought there would never be people out here, that were actually like, me and you on my age of me. Yeah. Until I looked at social media and I met a lot of people. I recently, yesterday, 2 days ago, I had an interview with Zachary Ford, who's on age of me. He's a podcast host, motivational speaker. Yeah. I also talked to other people. I talked to some people who do, who are working on their purpose now, doing sports and things and taking it seriously, not going on dumb stuff, just focusing on playing their sport. It's great to see people who are doing things in their lives and not trying to do things for people or to kill themselves, because, it's stupid when a person just wants to willingly kill themselves and I don't understand how you want to use something that's going to kill you. I understand these people might want to try it, but don't try something that's going to kill you. Don't try a vape. Don't try, those smoking things. Don't try the drugs, the alcohol. Don't try those things because they'll just kill you. If you know they're going to kill you, and if you see this firsthand from a family member, don't do it because you're just going to kill yourself or either get yourself stuck in an addiction that you can't get out of.
Come on, man. Come on.
But to answer your question, like I said, the first thing I said earlier, what I just said recently, that.
Hold on, I was looking at what Meaning Force said.
You really loved it.
Socratic.
Just reading what he was saying.
Yeah. But Brendan, so like I love what you're saying. So you're speaking at 16, you're talking this, right? And like I said, I'm 33. So you're telling people out there, especially people your age and people who maybe have never encountered or experienced these other things. I've experienced a lot of stuff. I'm PTSD, Marine Corps veteran, was suicidal. I was at that place. I was like you. I was like, why would anybody want to kill themselves? I sat in the same room with the Marine who had just attempted suicide in Japan when I was in Japan. I sat in at the hospital with him and other Marines, and I looked at him, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? I would never do that, right? And I fast forward. I go to Afghanistan. I get in an explosion. I get shot at by the Taliban. I come back home, and I'm going through depression. I'm drinking alcohol. I'm smoking weed. I'm going through all of these things that you just spoke about, and it is so true. Like I wish that those things weren't the things I leaned on, because they do, they come with another thing attached to it, right? It comes with a boulder that's going to hold you down. So I just wanted to share that for the people who are like, man, whatever he's saying, I don't care, my homies do this. No, like really listen, like don't dig the hole that you don't have to go in. Avoid that. So
yeah, and
yeah.
that's why. Oh yeah, that's my Bible study teacher right there in the comments. So shout out to her,
Miss Austin.
for some motivation as well. And why should you use those things to help you? People use that as a way of coping, but in a way you shouldn't use that. Why don't you use you know other things, family as a way of coping, yourself to watch TV of coping, do something like that? Because
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot of bullying, not hitting or anything, just verbal bullying, through middle school, not high school, middle school, and early middle school, late elementary. Sometimes I used to come home, be depressed. I was just like you, depressed. Never had
Yeah.
suicidal thoughts by the grace of God. But
Yeah.
what I used to use to cope is video games. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, man, ever since I used that as a way of video games, that was actually my addiction. So, in a way, it's nothing that's killing me. It's nothing
Right.
that's doing nothing. But guess what? You know what's the bad thing that's still doing it? Guess it.
What's that?
Taking my time away.
Taking your time away, right?
The
I thought
video
you were
games out
asking
there
me
will
to do
take my
it.
time away. And now
Right. That's
look at it.
true.
The Lord allowed me to meet Jeremiah. So now my
Mm-hmm.
time is not taken away, because now I'm using my time wisely to pursue God's purpose. Because we all
Mm.
have a time when we die for God. We don't know when we're gonna die. So hey,
Right.
we gotta take every moment what a grain of not grain of salt. Take every moment preciously, because
Mm-hmm.
any moment we can die. Any moment he
Come
can
on.
just knock us out to sleep. He can knock the people down to sleep in the
Come on.
comments. So we gotta
Yep.
just appreciate every moment we're enjoying.
It's
Every moment.
true. It's true.
I mean,
That's
sometimes we don't take it. Sometimes we take it for granted. Sometimes we don't. But
mm-hmm.
you just gotta remember that anytime you can die, you can go out there and just die. You can you go and accidentally go to sleep and the fire is in the house, God forbid, and you die like that. So
Yeah. That
just be
time.
careful. Yeah,
You got to use that time. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah,
He man, and look, this is real. Like time is everything. And like the way we live our life, we should be mindful of our time. There's so many times where I'm sitting on there playing Fortnite or Madden, and I'm like, man, I spent like 4 hours when I should have been doing XYZ, and
yeah.
I'm staying up late now. I got the baby and stuff. So it's
Hey,
like I realize the importance of time even more now than ever.
yeah.
So I'm glad that you have that mindset, and you keep telling people that. Like I've been one, like to go into rooms, to go into places, and be that person that's like, look, man, tomorrow's not promised. Not even the next minute of your life. When you get in that car, your life is not promised.
Mhm,
Your
mhm,
loved one's life isn't promised. So
mhm.
don't live like what the next hour. Like, bro, I didn't know what the next today was going to look like. I was like, man, Brendan, I was going to tell, I'm struggling, bro. I falling asleep, driving and stuff. I was like, I might have to tell Brendan, like, it's been a long week, but I was like, no, I got this. We got this. So I'm over here getting fired up with DJ Davin, and you come on with the heat, brother, and you got me woke,
Yeah,
like real woke.
yeah.
So I really do appreciate you, man. So we're getting a lot of love in here, man. I definitely want to shout out the people that are watching. Brendan is he's had the most viewers live right now, which is amazing. It's amazing to see that you guys are sticking through with the brother. That means that he has a big support system. So I hope that you guys that are supporting Brendan, that you buy whatever he has, because we need to set this young man up for success. And the only way we could do that is to support him. So even if he doesn't have a product, invest in him. He didn't even tell me to do this. I'm just doing this because I have a podcast and I got a job. But I'm 33 years old right now. But I'm saying this as far as somebody looking at Brendan, looking at where he is. You guys make sure that you find a way to invest into his life, not just with time, but with resources and money, so that he can get these videos edited without worrying about time. So that he could buy merch, that he can get things that he needs, more video cameras, whatever he needs, guys. Those who support Brendan, please make sure that you find out what he needs. And that's just me telling you as a business partner in person on here. So I'm gonna do that for you right there, Brendan. So hopefully people bless you And I'm definitely looking forward to investing in your life and into what you're doing, because I want to see you surpass me. I want to see you do what you do at your level, right? So it's amazing. So we're gonna move on. So when you think about purpose, Brendan, what do you like? What comes to your mind? Because people talk about purpose, they're like, oh, I want to be a school teacher. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, when you think about purpose, what does purpose mean to you?
Well, I wrote it right here on my note when I was
Okay.
answering those questions earlier.
Yeah.
So, what purpose means is that I'm reading it right here from this paper. Something that God has ordained for you to do as a job, but it's something natural and you don't complain about it. That's what your purpose is. Because
Talk about it.
you should get paid for your purpose. I believe that whatever you do, you should get paid for it. People may say, "Oh, money doesn't bring happiness." I understand money don't bring happiness, but if you're doing something that's God given, you need to get paid for it. That should be your add-on. Like talented actors, they need to get paid for what they do. Basketball players, they need to get paid for what they do. Doctors definitely need to get paid higher than what they're getting paid. They need to get paid the same amount as basketball players. I understand that they saving lives. For crying out loud, that's basically what a purpose is. Something that you can do naturally as a job without complaining. And you notice that ever since the pandemic, there have been some teenagers who are just making money instead of working a normal job at a restaurant. They've been making money doing digital things. And for me, I think that's gonna be the new thing for teenage jobs. I think the new tradition for teenage jobs is going to be digital. So like maybe when I'm like your age, teenagers, instead of saying I'm gonna go work at this restaurant, I'm gonna go work at TikTok. I'm gonna go work at such online and make my online money, because you should work your passion. And that's great, because I feel we're living in an era where kids can find, and teenagers like me can find their passion at a young age because of this digital society we're in. If it weren't for this digital society, we would have been the same thing like y'all generation. No offense or anything.
No offense
y'all did real good, but I'm just saying, we're doing even better. And
that's true.
That's what the Bible says. We'll get stronger, but I think they said we will get weaker, something like that. I forgot how it is, or we won't get along with each other, something like that. But we'll be stronger. And
more smarter, the more information and everything. It's true though. Like, you look at it, there's so much opportunity for wealth. There's so much opportunity to start what was never started. If it was never started, it's opportunity to be better than our parents. And that's what it should be like. Parents should want their children to surpass them. Like, I have a daughter now, Lola. Like, I am so looking forward to lifting her up to where whenever she starts being in your position, when she's 16 and she's like, Daddy, I need XYZ, I'm going to be like, all right, I made sure that I sacrificed so that you could do this now. And then she's going to do the same for her kids. So the mindset has to be established early on. And even if people who are watching now, and if you're 50, 60 years old, 70, whatever you are right now, it's never too late to start investing in your descendants. Please don't second guess that. Do it. So,
and even with KFC, the guy started at 50, and he I believe that was 50, or he was 60, and he made his KFC brand.
Yeah.
The real guy, the real
guy, right?
I forgot his name. Dang it, I forgot his name. But you know who he is.
Not Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, right? Okay, I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I when you're excited, you just don't can't think of everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of excitement right here. So, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll be wrapping up soon. So we thank you all for tuning in. So please just stick through to the end. We're about to be wrapping up soon. Brennan is doing an awesome job, and you guys are doing an awesome job by supporting him. But talking about excitement, on the topic of responsibility, you mentioned on Instagram, you said the responsibility of happiness. I had to just snippet that out of there, because I have never heard anyone in my life say the responsibility of happiness. Can you talk about that?
Well, yeah, I made a post that day, a reel that day, because after I was finished, doing my podcasting, because I don't know why, but when I do podcasting, it's like I get in the zone and I can't let it out. I got to keep making more juice come out. So what I did is, to make that juice come out, I just said, well, let me make a reel right now and get on my phone and do that. And I just did it. And I said, teenagers, I was saying stuff about teenagers, working jobs, and that's not the only way how they can make money. They can make money on digital market. And I was saying, parents are always saying jobs are helping you learn responsibility. It's a way to help you make money and things. But you know, that is responsibility. But at the end of the day, the job wasn't responsibility. I said the money is the responsibility, and mainly yourself and yourself handling the money. And that's what led to me saying, "Where's the responsibility of happiness?" Because there are some teenagers now, I agree, that may like working at a restaurant, talking with their friends, doing what they're doing. But there are some that want to be like me, staying at home, working on things they love doing and making money. And if you're lazy or anything, you need to do something, either work in the digital market or get a job, because I don't recommend a lazy person. But if you're home and you're doing something, as a teenager working on your digital thing, then do it. And that's where responsibility happiness comes in. Are you happy working at a restaurant? Are you happy doing this? And for me, I can't say for sure. I can't control what I want in the household, but currently now I don't want to be at a restaurant. I'd rather work here and make my money for this, because this will help me long term than that restaurant or wherever I will work at. And also, the responsibility of happiness comes with college too. Some people may say, well, college, that's the only way out. No, it's not. There's more things. I just referenced it earlier today, just digital market. And I don't want to say digital be biased, but just digital is the truth. And that's your responsibility, happiness. Where's your, and last thing to say, the definition of responsibility, happiness, the responsibility of happiness is you deciding what you want to be happy for and how you want to make your money for what you want to do. Do you want to make your money being sad, or do you want to make your money being happy? There's always going to be struggles, but do you want to mostly be happy or mostly be sad?
Come on.
I would agree with mostly be happy. So go do what you love doing, and don't worry what nobody else say.
Throwing pins and somebody write a check. That's real, man, because a lot of people, their finances dictate their happiness. But if you use the reverse and what you're saying, if you use that reverse and you use your happiness to make your money, you use what brings you joy to make you money, it's a difference. So just want to encourage people out there, if you're struggling right now and you're in a season of lack, which you're never in a season of, because when we can wake up in the morning and we can stretch our limbs, or we can open our mouth or open our ears, then we have the ability to do great things. And that just leads me to the next thing. Brendan, I didn't even go to my paper that I sent you, the email I sent you, bro. This is all I had. This is on my spirit. So like I had to write some stuff down, but you had said something. Let me pull it up real quick. Man, I just love what you're saying, bro. So I'm definitely glad that I brought you on here.
Thank you.
Let me see.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead and just tell people to follow you real quick while I do this.
All right. Well, make sure to go follow me. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on all podcast platforms. My podcast is on all podcast platforms. The email's down there if you need to contact me. Everything's down there, down below. He got it all up there. Everything's up there. My TikTok change actually is not Influencer B anymore. It's BB Podcast 101, because I actually made a new TikTok for the video podcast I'm going to premiere next year. And
BP is BB Podcast.
Yeah, BB_podcast 101. That's a TikTok. But everything else you can leave the same. Right, because I got, I already have, at host is Brendan Brown for the podcast Insta. And then, my personal Insta for the brand, for the business part is Influencer. Yeah. So
okay. That's the only one. So y'all make sure y'all follow him. Make sure you follow him and make sure you encourage him, because he's doing great things, y'all. He's doing great things. Yeah, I can't wait till one day he writes a book. And I'm going to be the one. I mean, you better let me know first. Let me know. I know your mama want to know and everybody want to know, but tell me first so I can buy the first copy. Mama, I'm sorry. So here I found what I wanted. I put this up when DJ Davi was up doing his thing. So you says, if you can speak, because I was talking about waking up in the morning, being able to stretch and stuff. So this is what I thought about. If you can speak, then you can influence others. If you are speaking about the right positive things, think carefully about what you are saying, Brendan Brown. I put that there. That's very powerful. And I don't know if you've reflected over what you've said, but it's a very powerful thing. If you can speak, then you can influence others. Can you just go ahead and encourage those people who can speak to use their voice to encourage others and to be careful about what they're saying? Could you encourage or whatever you want to tell them? This is your floor right here.
Mm-hmm. So, influencing others and, speaking, have the courage, just believe in yourself and, do everything that must be done,
Yeah.
What was the question again?
Well, I was saying if you wanted to tell people who are, they have the ability to speak, but, and how can they use that voice to influence others? Like, what can they do? Some people are meant to preach. Some people are meant to teach. Some people are meant to do podcasts about video games. Some people are meant to do podcasts about purpose or self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But like for those people who are listening right here, I love to just go back to the audience. Like, what would you like to say to them to encourage them to use their voice to influence?
Well, start from home, start from home. And then after that, do it with your friends. Then after your friends, well, you know what else to do after that. Go to the strangers. You don't gotta go to a stranger now because some people are just very scared. They're like, oh, people might do this and that. People might kidnap you. Well, hey, you got the internet. Use this. You got this.
Use the phone, right?
Use the phone. Go use social media. You make all your other random friends on there. So go network with people who you want to network with and what in your niche. If it's music, if it's cooking, if it's whatever it is. So, spread your voice out. Do that. And also what I'm doing right now, and Alan doing, be energetic and have, a positive mindset and be excited and happy for what you want to do.
Right. Come on. They said Brendan only speaks facts. Big facts. What's up, cousin? How you doing, Dana? All right. So my last question that I usually end on, and if you guys have any questions, those of you who are out there, if you have any questions, please drop your questions right now for myself or Brendan, and we will get to that. But I have another question, my last questions that I have for him. If you have any questions, please post it right now. I know there's a delay in the video sometimes, so I'll wait a little bit. But I'll go into my last question. My favorite question is, Brendan, what do you want your legacy to be?
Well, what do I want to be? Well, I got it written down right here. And I think I got it in the wrong way. Yep, it's not on this paper, but I can say it. What I want my legacy to be is that I want people to know that it wasn't me, but it was just, God allowed me to do what I'm doing. And I want people to know that I was an ambassador for Christ and that, Christ will help you because the real legacy isn't me, but the legacy is Christ because, all of us, if we're, if you're a Christian, if you associate yourself with the faith, if you're a content creator like me and Alan, we are just the gateways for you to get to God. We help you self-improve. We help you do all this. But I said this on one of my pre-recorded episodes. You have to be, a gateway character. You're not the hero. And neither is your audience because, your cousin IG, he actually interviewed somebody who said that, the audience is the hero and you're the gateway character. Well, reverse that. And if he's watching this, I don't care because, hey, you're wrong. You're wrong. Your audience is not the hero. Neither is us. God is the real hero. And the audience is just the average citizens. And you know what we are? We're just the extra heroes, I guess. We're just the gateway.
The gateway.
So
we're the gateway. We're not
we're
not the source. We're the gateway.
Yeah.
Come on, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Because Jesus is the gateway to God. You only can accept God through Jesus. So that's another gateway you got to get through first.
Come on, preach that fact, brother. Preach that fact. Yeah. Preach that fact. So we got that's running. All right, so we got questions coming in, but I have to play this video real quick, and then we're going to get to it. So I'm giving you guys some time to post your questions. I have a short video I'm gonna play real quick, and then we're going to exit out after we answer the questions. Okay, so we'll be right back.
All right.
right. So I hope you
Mm.
guys enjoyed that little short thing. As you saw, please subscribe to the Purpose Pod on YouTube, like and share this video so that other people can watch this. Make sure you copy the link and just text people like, hey, just watch this awesome interview with Brendan Brown and Alan Simmons and DJ Davi. You have to check it out. It's amazing. It will help you out. Please make sure you guys do that. And I stress that because people won't know if we don't show them. People won't know if we don't tell them about it. So please make sure you're telling people about it. We're not selling you anything. We're just asking you to send this to some people. All right. So they said we need a part 2. We need a part 2. You know what? I'm gonna follow up with Brendan next year because this is my second to my last interview. I have one more interview for the year, and I'll be done until like maybe March, January, March. And then I'm coming back swinging like Muhammad Ali in the ring, like Brendan is. We both gonna come back swinging next year, all right? So we definitely will catch up with Brendan. So we have a question here. It says, "This is for Brendan, but can you or do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life?"
Depends on what God says, and what God will lead me to do. You gotta look at your observations. You gotta observe, like how they say in class, observe your observations so you can know what's going to produce. So I need to look at my observations and see what can produce. So to answer your question, right there, see my observations, see what they can produce, and ask God. So I don't know if I could do this the rest of my life because it could change and alter to something even better. So
come on, it may change or alter. Like right now, Brendan we're doing the podcasting right here. And then, one of my goals is to like be on some like Steve Harvey, have my own show, my own TV. So the crazy thing is we have our own show. We have our own Steve Harvey kind of show. We talk, we bring information, we bring facts. But the it's about the platform and who sees you, the greater audience. But let's not mistaking that 11 people versus 11 million people is all the same, because not all of the people who watch Steve Harvey will benefit, or TD Jakes will actually benefit from the seeds that they drop, because some seeds go on the roots and it gets choked out before they go in the soil, right? So definitely, greater things are coming because God has purposed Brendan to do them. I believe it. So big facts, Mario. Jeremiah, my man's the seed sower. Y'all make sure y'all check out Jeremiah's podcast as well. Follow his YouTube channel.
Yep.
Jeremiah Patterson. What's your favorite part about podcasting and motivating others? Also giving life-changing advice. What's your favorite part?
Well, my favorite part about it is that, you get to record and you get to see people talk, because it's good to do everything, fine, Danny, do everything, but the good thing is when you see stuff like this, when you see people talking, interacting, because, for us starting off, you don't get that. You have to get that as you build your momentum. And like how Sean said from Think Media, the law of preparation, you got to have the law of preparation, to do everything, prep your things up, and then go ahead and build it and produce it and make that momentum keep going up. Like how you do your podcast, the momentum keeps going up. And,
exactly.
ever since I joined this interview, I was a little bit, calm, but now the momentum's building up.
Yeah.
You got to build that momentum. And that's my favorite part about the podcasting, is that you get audience to talk to, and they can build that momentum for you, and not just you, but also them. So if they share to you, or the algorithm does.
Big facts. And I love them. I usually come in swinging. So I usually start off at the top of the mountain, and I'm over here building another mountain to climb, because I have to take it there, and this is all natural, all real. People who know me know that I'm just this energetic, fun loving guy. And I love to have fun, but I love to talk about purpose, because it's not being talked about at the dining room table or at the friend circle, so we got to come on the Purpose Pod. We got to talk about it. So I'm definitely excited and glad that we had this conversation. Like I said, make sure you like and share this. If there's no more questions, we're going to end this interview in a few. I definitely want to say on the topic of, you said digital. I just want to let people know about this app called Petty Gigs, Black owned app. Petty Gigs is, Brendan, for people that, high school, people who want to work from home or whatever it is. If you got a skill or a craft, like they have this app where you can pretty much go and find a gig and do it. You can be a petty gigger, and go out there and do a gig and make some money. So and then I wanted to shout out this lovely platform called Hey Tie. If you never heard of Hey Tie in Durham, North Carolina, but Hey Tie is where we are on the platform, Black owned as well. Just really enjoying. Let me move this little banner out the way. Just got to shout these people out because they are allowing me to speak on their platform and sharing it. So, Brendan Brown, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you share, like and share. Go follow Brendan Brown on Instagram. I'm gonna put this up one more time so that you guys can see it. Any last closing words? Any? Hold on, we're about to go into a new year, Brendan. I want you to go ahead and give us something to enter into this new year. Go ahead and drop that for us.
Okay, so a new thing you need to do to enter into this new year is, have the confidence. And this goes for everybody. I'm not talking about purpose this time. I'm just going to talk about the real stuff. Okay. Have the confidence, plan ahead, follow your New Year's resolution like how I did and Alan did. Hopefully you did follow the New Year's resolution, audience. And, for this year, make sure you follow the new one, And, also just have financial literacy. And I just really want to talk about that just now for, any closing thing is financial literacy. I like financial literacy, and I believe, in Black homes, it's not talked about that much. Financial literacy is something that's, scared to talk to with some Black families. Some Black families are scared to talk about money, and, and if you're scared to do it, you can cause them to be at depth. And you need to learn financial literacy. Educate yourself. I'm taking finance class. I learned financial literacy last year through through YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You can shout out Somerville. Go ahead.
Thinking something else, not Somerville. I went to Ford my whole life. But YouTube. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. YouTube and just learning financial literacy. So make sure you educate yourself on that because that's the most important thing you need to know. Because especially as a teenager, you need to know that because some people are not going to tell you financial literacy, and you'll just be looking at yourself like, "Oh, I have regret that I didn't learn responsibility." But you better thank God you're learning now. So I told you in advance, if you don't do it, it's on you.
It's on you. It's on you. So lovely way to send us off into this new year, Brendan Brown. So please just, Brendan, I want you to wait in the background. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to close out, then we're going to talk for a second, and then I'm going to thank you and all that good stuff. So just wait. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Brendan Brown. Let him know. Which is way. There you go. He's wearing that never stop, never quit, repeat right there. Just to let y'all know. Go ahead and show them what never stop, never quit. I'm about to give you another shirt too. So make sure y'all, if y'all want some of that, let me know. Let me know. I'll go ahead and give percentages to Brendan or something like that. We can talk about this buddy thing. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Brown. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Alan Levi Simmons, Mr. Never Stop, Never Quit, Repeat. I hope that you have enjoyed DJ Davi's 10-minute mix. If you missed the 10-minute mix, we took you to church and we made it work. And we also took it to South Carolina with that Roy. But if you enjoyed DJ Davi's and then Brendan Brown came on here and gave y'all the smackdown and gave y'all some information, if you enjoyed it, please make sure you like and share and subscribe to the Purpose Pod. And make sure you tell your friends all about what you heard tonight. So this has been another episode of the Purpose Pod. I am your host, Alan Levi Simmons. Peace.